We're back in the garage. Let me tell you why we're in the garage.
We got kicked out of In-N-Out. We got banned for life.
Yeah. Well, also, Eamon is a hot date tonight, so we didn't go to In-N-Out.
Yep. Emphasis on hot.
Emphasis on very hot.
Because the date part is unclear.
Welcome to your college football preview. Eamon, week 4?
Week 4.
Week 4, baby. God, I think our famous quote from last weekend was, "It can only go up from here," and
we sure said that.
We were wrong.
Yeah, we don't trust us to ever look ahead on the schedule past the week we're in.
We're both working people. We don't have time to look ahead.
We're blue collar guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. My hands are getting dirty.
Yeah.
Eamon's hands are getting drenched in tequila.
Yeah,
it's a hard life.
we're just a couple of working stiffs.
Yeah. So
So long story short, after this week can only go up from here.
Yeah, I mean, I would fucking hope so. Yeah. Well, I mean, we do have Oregon at Cal next weekend.
True. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a really good one.
That's all I know. All I know is the Cal schedule.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't ask much of me. Last weekend, what did we have? We had some stupid shit go down that I missed.
We had Texas beating USC, beating the brakes off USC.
We knew USC was bad, though.
True, but I didn't see it going quite that well for Texas.
USC's lost.
They're very young. They got a freshman quarterback who's still learning, and their coach is overrated.
I'm sure they'll be better next year, but they really need a coach badly.
Yeah, Clay Helton ain't it.
No, yeah.
What else happened? UCLA is
god awful. Did you hear about that?
I mean,
the dad of the quarterback
criticizing Chippy.
Ballsy move. He's look. Whatever your name is, Chip is a first-year coach for UCLA. He's dealing with Jim Mora's bullshit.
I'm not a Chip lover.
Well, yeah, neither am I.
He coached my Niners for
the
blink of an eye.
We don't talk about that.
I forgot it even happened. Yeah. It just seemed like
it's like me, the Raiders, and
because I think the Jim Tomsula era literally put me in a coma, and I didn't remember anything for a year after that.
Oh, Jim.
I missed that guy.
Where are they now?
I think he's with Washington.
Yeah,
Washington professional football team. But yeah, so I'm not the biggest Chip Kelly fan in the world by any means. But it needs to be acknowledged that there was nothing left over from Jim Mora's tenure.
Absolutely not.
But I do have to say, felt pretty good watching him lose to Jeff Tedford the other night, and lose to Jeff Tedford big time.
Yeah. Talk about old versus new. I mean, let's look at it this way. Here's Chip Kelly, who couldn't fucking buy his way into a championship game, and Jeff Tedford, who's literally one corrupt vote away from a championship game. So
wasn't Chip Kelly in a championship game, or was
that? No, he was in a playoff. That was Helfrich. You're right, that was Helfrich.
Can't remember who was coaching them when they played Auburn in the national championship game.
That was Helfrich. No,
that was Chip Kelly, I think.
That was Chip Kelly.
Yeah,
they got creamed by Auburn.
Anyway,
Cal wouldn't have lost, so suck my D.
What else happened last weekend?
LSU beat Auburn.
LSU beat Auburn.
Who saw that coming? Quite a few people.
LSU has something going, I think.
Here's what's happening in LSU. The talent has run off this way, and Ed Ogeron's following behind. He's just along for the ride.
Oh, Oklahoma and Iowa State played a really exciting game.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It ended up being Oklahoma ended up winning by 10. Iowa State just couldn't quite close the gap there at any point.
Had a lot of hope,
but it was a good one. It was a fun game, and Kyler Murray, Heisman favorite, gotta be.
Then there was the two games I turned on, which I cursed.
Let's see what else happened.
I cursed the Washington game.
You bastard!
I know, because I turned it on.
Oklahoma State buried a Boise State.
Yeah. Oh, fucking BYU beat Wisco.
Wisco off to a disappointing start, but not as disappointing as Nebraska.
Wisco usually waits until at least week 5 to disappoint us this badly.
True.
So that was
they're ahead of the game this year.
They're really ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Because I watched night games. So I watched
Washington beat Utah.
Yeah, and Utah Utah had that game.
Utah
the
had
palm of their hand.
Well, not really. It
did.
seemed like for a while there, both teams were just kind of saying, "Here, you take this game." No, you take this game. They were just like.
But Utah had those 2 key turnovers. They turned it over
when
in
they
their
were
own
inside
territory.
the 5.
Yeah.
They turned it over inside Washington's 5, right in the goal line.
If they didn't do that, it would have been a tie game.
Sure. Yeah, and Jake Browning, who I think has been at Washington for 10 years now.
Yeah, he's a 6th-year grad student,
and
I think.
has regressed every year.
Oh, yeah.
I like what Spencer Hall said on Twitter. There was an especially hilarious play that both teams were bad on. It involved a Jake Browning interception, and Spencer said, Jake Browning is a very good college quarterback with the world's worst spin move and makes one mind-blowingly bad play per game.
Oh, exactly. And it's like, I don't know. It's so Steven Montez has gone, this in his freshman year, sophomore year, and then junior year. Jake Browning has made a true,
just a steady,
straight down
ski slope.
Yep, every year you could really pick up some speed on that slope.
And the Herm Edwards hype train is officially done.
Here, I was really hoping for it to I was as big of a Herm criticizer as anybody, but I really had some hope for him after he won those first 2 games. They blew it though against SD State, which effectively ruined.
You know what? Cal lost at SD State a couple years ago, so I feel your pain. Feel your pain. Feel your pain.
Yeah. Stanford beat SD State last 2 years, right? In season openers.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Sorry, Herm.
And Scott Frost.
Okay.
I'm giving you this year, buddy, to for a mulligan. But we don't start seeing some Florida recruits coming to Nebraska. I fear it's going to be a short tenure.
Yeah. It makes me sad, but I mean, let's look at it this way. He was left with who came after Bo Pelini? Some joker.
Some jamoke.
Yeah, so it's like
some schmo.
They haven't had proper recruiting in like over 6 years.
Yeah.
So
I give pretty much every college coach at least a year to sort of work out the kinks.
I believe in Scott. I mean, look at what he did at UCF. He'll be able to pull some people in.
So, as we said, not the best slate of games to choose from this week. There was a few that we were on the fence about, but didn't end up going with.
As I yawn, let us begin at 7:44. There we are. All right, so Saturday, you actually can sleep in this Saturday. Wake up just before 12. Yeah. Prepare the chips and
work off that hangover.
Pound some Bud Lights and get ready to watch number 17. Texas Christian University at University of Texas at Austin, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time.
So this is the Longhorns getting all aboard the hype train, and this will be their chance to prove that it wasn't just a fluke last week. Meanwhile, they're playing TCU. Who did they play last week? TCU.
Ohio State.
Yes, they lost big time to Ohio State, unfortunately.
No, wasn't big time.
Well, the score is probably worse than it was.
The score's worse than it was.
But,
that was a game I turned on and I probably cursed.
Yeah.
I turned that game on and I turned on the Washington game. And when I turned on the Washington game, my luck that I have caused Utah to turn the ball over twice. So I turned on the TCU game.
Blame this guy.
Yep, blame me. And I screwed it up. I take full responsibility. I turned on the TCU game, and Ohio State immediately went in for 2 touchdowns.
So these are 2 teams motivated for different reasons. TCU to avenge a loss to a team that everybody hates in Ohio State, and Texas to prove that they're not just a flash in the pan and they're actually back. So this will be a fun one.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to give it I'll give it 3 stars even, because I believe that TCU may cream Texas.
I give it 4.
What?
Oh.
Oh, that's dank.
That's
okay,
dank.
fine.
Dank.
Go for it. You do you. Cruising onward by approximately 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We go to number 14, Mississippi State, at University of Kentucky, 4 p.m.
And this might be legitimately the first time we've ever talked about a Kentucky football game on here.
I think Eamon might be
but
correct.
They're 3-0. They beat Florida a couple weeks ago for the first time in 100 years.
Yep.
More realistically, like 35 years. But
it was pre-World War One. Whenever
pretty
it was.
Amazing.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And then Mississippi State's ranked 14th. I'm not sure how.
I don't know how.
I think they might have just kind of.
Oh no, I know how. They haven't played anybody. Oh. And they're in the SEC.
I was thinking maybe they just somebody read their name wrong and like just wrote them in there. Like,
yeah, it's potential. I mean, there's a lot of letters in Mississippi, so. So
we'll see about this one. It would be pretty crazy if Kentucky beat another ranked team and got to 4-0. That'd be pretty wild.
Oh, I feel you. I mean, I'm gonna give this one 3.5.
Same,
because I believe Kentucky has a good shot at beating Mississippi State, but you never really know with these Egg Bowl motherfuckers.
Exactly.
You never know.
Exactly.
You never can tell. I mean, it's such a...
These egg fuckers.
Yeah, these egg fuckers. Mississippi's such a big deal of a state. I remember...
Are they?
I remember that year...
I've never heard anybody say that.
Bear with me here, Eamon. Eamon, hop on the train for a moment.
Oh, I'm on the train.
You're on the train. So let me tell you a story about... Remember that year about 2 or 3 years ago when Mississippi State and Ole Miss were pretty good?
I remember that.
And so they wrote a New York Times Magazine article about just what it meant to people in Mississippi that both teams were good.
I didn't read this.
And that we were really in for a hell of an Egg Bowl. Turned out we were in for a hell of an Egg Bowl. Did either team do anything? No. I think they both lost to Bama, or at least one of them did.
Right, yeah.
And one of them lost to like Missouri or someone else.
One of them might have beaten Bama.
Yeah.
Ole Miss beat Bama.
Ole Miss beat Bama that year, but then they lost to somebody shitty.
Yeah. It was a bit of a roller coaster.
I think it was the year Clemson won the championship.
I did enjoy that run there. That was actually fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was absolutely fun, and it was well worth the article.
Unfortunately, Ole Miss that seems like forever ago.
It does seem like forever ago.
But Mississippi State still got something going on, obviously.
Yeah, my memory's been overwritten by the Chad Kelly days, so I'm sorry. Chad Kelly, who's now 6 feet under, probably. Sorry, Chad.
Entirely possible. Okay, moving on.
We have number 7, Stanford University. Leland Stanford Junior University, to be specific.
That's right.
At number 20, Oregon, my friend Chelsea's alma mater. Mm-hmm. She claims that Oregon will win this game and then proceed to beat Cal, which will be a no. I'm sorry, Chelsea, that is incorrect.
This is the game of the week.
This is the game of the week.
My former coworker, Georgia, who doesn't go to Georgia, goes to Oregon, but previously went to Kentucky. It's funny because I don't think she cares at all about sports. Like the first time she told me that she went to Kentucky, I was like, I was joking. I was like, did you get a basketball scholarship to go there? She said, I've never been to a basketball game, and now she's going to Oregon. So.
Good Lord, she could have seen so much talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to when we had Jalen Bird, Tyrone Wallace.
Ivan Rabb.
I went there with Jaylen Brown.
I
went there with Paul to watch that game, to watch like the first or second game of the season.
Yeah, I went to several games that year.
Oh yeah, I mean it's it's something you tell your kids about. I got to see,
and I bet Kentucky's like a whole other stratosphere.
Oh yeah, that's in its own level. Like. Yeah, I went to one game at Kentucky in 2008, and I've never been to a game since, but I saw 6 NBA players.
Exactly. So I don't know if my former coworker Georgia will be at this game, but maybe she will. Who knows?
I hope so.
She'll probably be pre-gaming.
Yeah, you go, Georgia.
Yeah. Cool as shit. So this is a very interesting game. Especially, I don't know if Bryce Love is playing.
You hear that football is going to be over soon?
No, I didn't hear it. That's false. Don't listen to him.
Is it?
That guy's wrong. Anyway, I'm going to give this game a number 4.
That was a homeless guy who just walked by.
Yeah. Oh, that 4's backwards. Fuck.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to write a 4.
Oh.
Giving this game a 4.
Anyways, I think this will be a great game. Great offense versus great defense. And then bad offense versus bad defense. So,
what's a bad offense?
I'm not familiar.
I've never heard of that.
Anyways, I give it a 4 as well.
I give it a 4. Stanford, they're going down. Oregon, you're going down the week after.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Chels, marry me.
You don't just.
But sorry.
Next one.
Number 18, University of Wisconsin at Iowa at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. By the way, that Stanford-Oregon game is at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
So, 18 Wisconsin at Iowa, 5:30 p.m. Here's the problem with Wisconsin. They've imploded early this year. They decided to not lead us on until week 7, like usual.
Right. They made Cal's win over BYU look better, but they also, on the flip side, they also bumped BYU into the top 25 somehow, which is total
Not
bullshit.
sure how that happened.
Total bullshit.
That confused me as well. I'm not sure how a team with one loss, and that loss being to a 3-0 team, Cal, somehow gets 25th spot. And
it's fucking Mormons, man. Something's going on there.
Apparently, I mean, some of these schools just have more clout than us these days. I mean, it's been what, 12 years since the Aaron Rodgers days, 14 years. So
just open an old wound, buddy.
Everybody's just written us off. They're like, oh, they haven't had shit in 14 years.
They probably still think that Sonny Dykes is still the coach.
Probably. Everybody's forgotten that we've moved on.
Yeah, they're just like, wow, Sonny Dykes has really changed his coaching strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's out. He's out here.
Yeah, he's actually at SMU and he's 0-3, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much on this game other than I like Iowa.
I like Iowa,
and the Wisconsin's really gotta turn it around quickly if they want any shot of having any legitimacy in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, let's face the facts. It's hard to beat Iowa at home.
Yeah, it is.
It's really hard.
It's the house of upsets.
Yeah, I mean, it's the house that upsets built.
True.
Yeah,
that's how the old saying goes.
I mean, Mount Olympus.
Sure.
And the like the Titans over here in a little dungeon. And so, like, Iowa's like the Titans.
Okay.
And, like, Wisconsin's like Zeus. And, like, Zeus accidentally opens the fucking cage to the Titans, and the Titans break out and fucking kick his ass. Iowa.
Those mushrooms starting to kick in, John?
Apparently. I mean, what percent is this beer? Jesus. Oh, it's 7%. My bad. Apparently, I'm hammered.
I give this one a 4.
I give this one a 4 as well.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Corn.
Eat your corn, kids.
I'm John.
I'm Corn.
And we'll see you in week 5. Later, homies.